Hello, boys and girls. We are going to be getting started today on our first project of the year. And I'm super excited because we are going to be working in clay. You will have a container that will be brought to you in just a minute, and it has all your supplies in it. These are your supplies for today. This is what you will need in art. You do not touch somebody else's supplies, okay? Keep your hands to yourself. We all know how this works. You also have a plastic mat that will be sitting there. This is to protect the table. It makes it very easy for us to wipe it clean afterwards. So, first things first, when you get your plastic container, we want to carefully unpack it or take the things out. We have our magic clay glue. We've got our piece of clay, and we have a pencil that will help us to add some fabulousness. This yellow container will go on the floor out of the way right next to you. Piece of clay. We all know what clay is. So we are going to be making a pinch pot today. When you get your piece of clay, first things first, take it and roll it between your hands, or you can use one hand to hold the messy mat down and the other to roll it into a kind of ball. It is not an exact sphere. We are not trying for that. We are just basically trying to get it round enough where it looks kind of smooth. Next step, take the piece of clay, put it in your hand, give me the thumbs up sign. This thumb is going to push into your piece of clay. When you move your hand, your clay will stick onto your thumb. That's how you know you did it right. And you cannot see it through the other side. Next step, take your thumb out. Sometimes it takes some wiggling to do that. And you will see that it has a hole. All right, we're going to make that hole bigger, and we're going to use our fingers to do that. So I'm going to use my thumb, these two fingers, and I'm going to be pushing or pressing or pinching the clay to make this hole bigger. So I'm going to take my thumb, and I'm not pushing as hard as I did the first time. It's just going to get pushed and pushed, and each time I push my fingers, I'm going to turn it, and you can see that it is making little fingerprints all the way around, and it is bigger. Now that it is bigger, the next step is to take both of our thumbs and use those. So I'm going to use both of my hands at the same time to press and pinch and make it bigger, and the whole time it's going to turn to make it a bigger pinch pot. It's going to stretch the clay. You want to do this with it up off the table, not sticking to that messy mat, so my fingers will stretch and touch the entire piece of clay. As I do this, you're going to notice that you're going to get some cracks. That happens. Don't worry about it. We'll fix those later. So as I'm going around and stretching the clay out, look at those cracks that are happening. I'm not worried about them because I'm going to show you how to fix them. So I have pinched it all the way around, and now it has made a nice little bowl. We can do a bunch of different things with this pinch pot, but the first thing that we want to do is get it not to wibble wobble because it's a moving on us. So I'm just going to take it in, tap, tap, so it will stick a little bit. We are not pushing down super hard. If you do that, it will stick to this and then we can't get it off. Next step, you may have some cracks that you need to do some fixing. So you can see my little bit of magic glue, and I'm going to push those together. Once I push them together, I have to use my finger, my thumb, or even that pencil to rub and smooth this stuff out. So I can't just rub and make this line go away. So that's where this pencil can come in, because I can use it to kind of go back and forth and smooth that area out. And now there's not a crack. Not everybody is going to have to do this, but if you do have a crack, just a little tiny bit of clay glue and just rub it and smooth it together. Notice how my fingers are supporting the other sides. And you can see how it's changing as I go along. So I'm going to fix the rest of these cracks. Okay, you can see that little last one was a little stubborn, didn't want to necessarily do what I wanted it to do, but I won that little bit of a clay fight. So I've got a cute little pinch pot. The great thing about these is you can use them to put jewelry in, or you can put change in them. All different little things can this be used for. You can go through and change the shape of it and how it looks. The clay pencil that you have, you can use to make designs. You do not want to push so hard that you actually push through the clay, but you can make patterns on it all different ways. You can do the inside however you would like. So that is what we are creating today. Now that you have gotten all that stuff done, now that I am finished, and you can see I did a design all the way around. I wrote art on the inside of this, did a little circle fancy design in there. Now you are ready to bring your pinch pot over to me so that you can get your initials on it. So you most likely have 3 initials. You probably have your first initial, second initial, and third. Those are the first letter of your first name, first letter of your middle name, first letter of your last name. So my initials are BGL, because my name is Becca Gail Lopez. So BGL. So when I come up, I would say, Ms. Lopez, my initials are BGL. And the fabulous Miss Lopez is going to write BGL with her fancy dandy pen tool. This is very sharp. It can poke you. That is why I am using it right now and not you. Once this is done, then after that, you're going to clean your hands. This needs to stay with Miss Lopez, but your container of clay glue and your pencil go back in the yellow, or should say in the whatever color your container is.